Good morning. Welcome back to Yarn on the Beach. This is episode 23 and I am Kristin Omdahl. We are having an extremely foggy morning down here. I can't even see, I can barely see the horizon in any direction. I'll show you that direction. And you see there's a couple of runners down here, but not many. Super duper foggy, like, you know, when it's foggy and like not great driving conditions, that's what this morning was like. Good morning, Miss Detroit. Thanks for joining me. Good morning, KB Fibers. Glad to have you. So, we don't have much visibility. Good morning, Pamela. But we do have some big roller waves. And those of you who live near an ocean, I know this is not big waves, but for those of us on the Gulf of Mexico, this is a nice, big, loud, rolling wave action this morning. So hopefully that translates and comes through on the live streaming. Good morning, Patty. I saw several other good mornings, and sorry I didn't catch your names, but thank you all for joining me this morning. We're going to hear some big rolling waves this morning. And I wanted to say I am sorry I was not able to do the live stream last night at Knitting Club. Donna says, oh, she's very happy with the quality of Be So Brave yarn that she just ordered. Wonderful, I'm so glad. Enjoy it. Last night at Knitting Club, I was super busy. Good morning, Mar. We had several new people and lots of people needed help with their projects last night. One of the things that I offer at my Knitting and Crochet Club every Tuesday is free pattern support for anybody who has any problem with any pattern in the universe, which keeps me on my toes, but also keeps me quite busy when new people are coming in. So last night I had 4 people that needed pattern help, and one of them was a beginner. So, oh great, KB Fibers tote bag came. What size did you get? I got the 18 inches. It comes in 13, 15, and 18. This is the big one. And I saw someone made one of my crochet market bags last night, which I'm guessing it was one like this. Awesome. I love hearing that. You got the 13. I've bought the 13 before in a different print of mine, and that is a fabulous size for a project bag. This size is me thinking about adding several projects at one time to bring down to the beach in the morning or leave the house with, because I want to bring multiple projects. But 13 inches, honestly, this is a 12-inch bag. So imagine a little bit bigger than that with handles would be the size difference, and that's what she got in a tote bag. Perfectly fine. In fact, in these little storage bags with the drawstring, I can fit multiple projects in there as well. So that's great. Well, wonderful. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy it. Where was I? Oh, talking about Knitting Club last night. You like the longer handles too. Great. So great, because a longer handle lets you put it on your shoulder when you're wearing extra layers. It's easy to put any size shoulder strap on your shoulder in a tank top, but once you add extra layers, it gets harder. Good morning, Cheryl from South Australia. Good morning, Made by Marsha Mom. Good morning. Some of the fine print's tough for me. Oh, so one of the things I learned a little bit about last night with helping somebody with their pattern is somebody came with a booklet of baby cocoon patterns last night. And I've done a lot of baby projects, but I haven't done a cocoon before, and she was having a lot of trouble with the way the pattern was written in the beginning rounds. And it immediately struck me as something that could be easily converted from any hat pattern, because basically you're making a flat circle and then making sides on it. Well, hello, that's a hat, right? And you're just making it to whatever size circle you need for the circumference, and then making it as long as you need. So what I thought would be really fun to do, well, and one step back, I ended up having to rewrite some of the pattern for her on some note paper last night because the stitch count was wrong in like the 3rd or 4th round, and it affected all the other rounds to get the circle done. And it was a stitch pattern that, anyway, it was a little more complicated than it needed to be. So I was trying to help her in a short period of time get rolling so that she would be able to complete the pattern when she left last night. Oh, Kathy received her soap and my face cream yesterday. Wonderful. I am so glad that you enjoy it. I am so in love with my face cream. It's because I use a very rich base of mango butter. It's solid at room temperature, but as soon as you use your finger, the heat of your body temperature melts it, so to speak. It softens it when you put your finger on it, and that's all the heat that you need to then put it on your face, and it soaks in so beautifully. So it's rich and emollient, but it doesn't have a greasy base, so it soaks in right away. Like, I put my face cream on in the morning and wait like 3 minutes and go and put my makeup on, and you can see my face is not shining. And then I use it again at night too. The one thing that I felt when I was in the process of making a face cream, one of the problems that I had was a lot of the natural ingredients are super greasy. Well, that's great if you're going to put it on your hands or your legs or your feet and go sit and do nothing, but it's not practical for putting on your face and then going and looking professional and put together. So I spent a lot of time experimenting with different natural ingredients, and mango butter was absolutely the winner. It has some amazing health and beauty benefits, as well as being non-greasy. Crochet Afghan patterns. I think Tammy's requesting that. Yeah, I have lots of them. If you go to my website, the free pattern link will take you to categories of all of my patterns, and you can click on free Afghan patterns from there, and it'll show you all of the ones that I currently have. So back to the baby thing that I was talking about, is that I was able to make her a very rudimentary chart, hand-drawn on this piece of paper, and write line-by-line instructions for her, which didn't feel professional to me, but yet it solved the problem immediately. And when I went home last night, I thought, you know what, it would be really great to add that as a new category, because it's something that I don't have patterns for right now. I would have loved to be able to send her somewhere last night and said, hey, I can teach it to you much simpler here. So, in between writing books 14, 15, 16, and all the other secret projects on my plate right now, I think it's time to come up with a really simple formula for making baby cocoons, because all of us, most of us, have already made a hat before, and I want to show you how simple it is to convert a hat pattern into a baby cocoon. And I'm going to show you the different sizes, or teach you how to teach you in a chart form to start with of all the different sizes, then show you how to convert your hat patterns into a cocoon, and then you can make a little baby hat, and you can make a cocoon in a larger size, and it'll be an amazing baby project. So this is the yarn I brought with me this morning to get started on one. Thanks, Maria. This is my basket weave hat done in Be So Tender yarn, which is worsted weight organic cotton. And what's really fun about this pattern is that I teach you how to do it in rows and rounds. So wherever you're the most comfortable in knitting hats right now, because as a beginner you can be intimidated by rounds until you do them, then you love them. But I remember when I was starting, I didn't love working in the round until for a long time, especially in hats. So I wrote the pattern in both ways, and it is done as a video here on YouTube, as well as a line-by-line instruction on my website. And it takes only one ball of Be So Tender yarn, which is my worsted weight organic cotton. Marcia says she made a cocoon and thought the same thing. Yeah, very, very interesting that the baby size small is really a 20-inch circumference. Well, hello, any slouchy hat is a 20-inch circumference. So to do an extra small would be 16 to 18 inches. Regular small would be 20 inches. And then I think there was even an extra small at 14, which is like a kid's hat. It'll be so easy to convert, and I'm really excited to get working on that today and to give some really great basic lessons on it. I mean, there'll be a free pattern involved too, but I think it's going to be great because I want to teach you how to go then to your pattern library and be able to convert from there too. I see people saying hi to each other. That warms my heart so much. I love it. Well, I don't have one made yet, but I can absolutely teach it on both. That'll be not a problem. Some of the concept of it can be applied to knitting and crochet. And this morning I was going to start on a crochet one, I think. But yeah, you can absolutely do either or both. Once I show you the dimensions for the different sizes, it'll make more sense, and you'll say, oh yeah, I have a hat pattern that size already. I'll just make my hat 16 or 18 inches long instead of 8 or 10 inches long. Whoa, the hair in my eye. Actually, I brought a couple of projects today. Good morning from Holland. Yes, I'm drinking green tea today. Oh yeah, embellishing cocoons is going to be super fun too. I actually thought about doing, you know those three-dimensional flower motifs that you can make? I thought about doing that on the flat base and then working up the sides like a hat, so that you've got that decorative view on the bottom too. Got lots of ideas for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. But we got to get started with a basic first before we can move on to the other stuff. I brought a couple other projects that I'm still working on today. Oh, where can you purchase a cup like this? In my Redbubble shop, and I'll post a link to that in the video description when we're done today. It'll be the same place where you can get the tote bags and lots of other types of merchandise that all have my artwork on them. Someone else is asking about tea. Yesterday I got invited by Amazon to have an influencer shop on their site, which was really cool. So I filled out the application process, and now I have my own shop page on Amazon, so I can share links to products that I buy on Amazon and show you what I'm already buying on there. So the first thing that made sense was to add my books and my yarns. Good morning, Judy. So I added my books and my yarns to my Amazon shop page, and then I added some of my favorite kitchen tools that I buy on there. Like, I found an amazing deal on cast iron, a set of them that I use all the time, and it was the cheapest set that I found on there, and it just made a lot of sense, so that's on there. My Instant Pot is on there. My favorite veggie chopper, the Vidalia Onion Wizard, or Chop Wizard, something that I've owned for years, and anytime it breaks, I immediately rebuy it. That's on there. And yesterday, someone was asking me about what kind of teas I like. Well, so I thought to add all my teas on there, and some of the specialty spices that I buy through Amazon, because I find it's the best place to buy specialty spices, considering where I live. I don't have access to many international stores. So I shared all that on there too. So as I talk about things, I'll have them in that shop, so it's an easy place to send people. Patty, that is a good question. I think it's amazon.com/shop/Kristin Omdahl, but I'm not 100% sure. So I will definitely put a link in this video description as soon as we're not live, but go to recording. I'll put a link in there, and I think it's going to be a great place to be able to share with you exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about something. So I'm really excited about that. thought it was, I mean, I just found out about it yesterday, but I jumped on it because it made so much sense because I get asked lots of questions about what I'm talking about. So anyway, all my favorite green teas, one of my favorite herbal teas, and even my favorite matcha tea is in there. Some of them you can find in the grocery store, some of them you can't, and that's why I shared it there, because when I can't find something in my local store, I go to Amazon to look for it anyway. I'm a huge fan of shopping on Amazon. It makes sense for me. I don't live in a very cosmopolitan area, don't have a lot of ethnic diversity in my area, so I don't have a lot of, you know, specific niche stores in my area. I have a lot of big box stores, so when I want to find specialty products, that's where I go. And so I'm sure there's a lot of people that live in the same types of areas as I do, even if it's not the same climate or the same kind of nature. Sometimes we live in remote areas where we don't have access to, you know, shops that you'd have in New York City or in Miami or, you know, other big cool cities. So I thought it was a great way to share that. So I'll share that later. Good morning, Edna. She joins us from India. Good morning, Shirley. Oh, so I was going to show you my progress on my shrug. This is another type of a product that they make for me in my Redbubble shop. They take my artwork and put it on chiffon. Look at how beautiful that chiffon is. You can actually see the beach right through it. It's that sheer. Really beautiful scarves. But what I'm doing for this one is crocheting on the edge of it. Okay, I just saw someone said from Detroit originally, and they miss Middle Eastern stuff, and absolutely, me too. And so I buy all my Middle Eastern spices on Amazon. I buy sumac on there. I buy, what am I thinking of? I forgot the other name right now, but I definitely buy sumac on there. Okay, so this was a 55-inch square. Stand up so you can see it. And so I closed up two sides after doing the perimeter in crochet. And so now there's two little armholes, and it's going to be a cocoon shrug after I finish the collar. And so the collar is a very simple double crochet kind of an edge. And this will be in an upcoming book that the subject is going to be crochet on fabric, and boy have I got some amazing things to show you in there. And that's going to be one of the projects. I love how you can crochet right on fabric when you use a small hook and a fine fabric. KB, let me know if you need help. I don't know what you're referring to because I didn't see a prior post because I was fussing around with this. So if you could repeat what you're offering help with, I would love to see it. Thank you, Julie. I'm glad you love my videos. Hey, Birdie, you're getting awfully close today. Okay, he's moving back. I've been attacked by birds twice in my life, and so even though, oh, if I need help with my books, or, are you talking to me? Maybe send me an email and let me know what kind of help you would like to offer, because I'm a one-man show or one-woman show, so I'm always up for help. So if you have something specific in mind, please email me. The email that I use most of the time for directing social media to contacting me is projectkristincares@gmail.com. And it should be the link here on YouTube as well for contacting me. So thank you. Right now, if I could get a hold of Mother Nature, that's who I actually need help from for book 14. I am ready to do final photography for the book, and the weather has been not so helpful. Oh, for tech editing and model making. Okay, absolutely. Yes, I would love to talk to you about that. So please send me an email. Good day from England. Thank you for joining me. One of my closest friends who lives in England is coming to visit next month. Very excited about that. She's from Portsmouth. Julie lives in Florida. I think I saw Florida and North Carolina, but I didn't read the whole post. I'm sorry. Wow, lots of birds hanging out with us today. They probably think I'm going to feed them. That's usually what makes birds aggressive down here on the beach, is when people have fed them in the past, they associate people with food. Isn't it beautiful here? Yes, it is so beautiful here. No such day as a bad day at the beach. I love all the different facets of weather at the beach. Yes, these are big waves for the Gulf of Mexico. Whenever I get to the East Coast for a tournament with Marlin, I think it's going to be really fun to do yarn on the beach over there, because boy, are you going to see a big difference in the size of the waves. Holy cow, they're so big over there. That would be the Atlantic Ocean side of Florida. I can't tell if the tide's coming in or not. Yes, Judy, these chiffon scarves make wonderful, well, I think of them more as like a shawl, but yes, they make wonderful scarves folded in half on a triangle or folded in half on the rectangle and wrapped around, even under winter coats, because the bright colors are just a beautiful pop of color on a gray day. Oh, I see. Hi, Edna. Julie said she lived in Florida and now lives in North Carolina. Very nice. North Carolina's pretty too. Good morning, Ronnie from India. Sarah says she made my spiral hat yesterday. That's wonderful. Good morning from Canada. I have family in Canada, mostly in the Toronto area, like Peterborough area. Whoops, I'm sitting on my stuff. When working on big pieces, I like to tuck some under my arm to keep the body of work up in the air so I'm not having to hold all of it in my wrists. There's a side discussion going on about Crochet Guild of America right now, and I haven't really seen much other than the explanation of the name. But glad there's stuff going on. Is anybody working on any projects this morning? You think I'm your aunt? I have a really small family. I'm not sure about that. But if you do, email me and we can talk about it. Amigurumi, yes, that's a great project. One of the ladies at Knitting Club last night, Knitting and Crochet Club, was asking about it, and she said that she felt a little bit intimidated by her amigurumi pattern she has at home. So I encouraged her to bring one to Knitting Club one night, and that I would help her get started on it. Amigurumi can be a lot of fun, but just like with anything else, you need to know some of the basics and know how some of the finishing skills. So I told her I'd be happy to help her if she wants to get started on that. I like helping people feel empowered with what they're working on. I'm for the people. Oh, I think there's still a side conversation going on about the guilds. Yes, Marcia, proper tension comes with practice. Absolutely. Oh, that reminds me, I had an email yesterday from somebody, and it was actually really cute way she described it. She said she loves all my patterns, loves how beautiful they look in the finished photos, but that when I'm doing tutorials, they never look pretty, and her stuff never looks pretty. And I said, well, that's because you probably haven't done any blocking yet. And so I had a conversation with her about the fact that everything, especially in lace, needs to be blocked, wetted, and laid out and pinned out so that you see that negative space between the stitches. So it was just funny that her observation was that it looked like magic when you see finished professional photos, because when I'm working, I'm paraphrasing, but my work is just as ugly as hers. Edna's working on the molten lava shawl. That's great. That is wonderful. It's such a pretty pattern. I love the edging on that one. Which, based on that conversation I had yesterday, made me think it might be a good time. Oh, somebody else is enjoying the Be So Brave yarn and working on a hat with it. Wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that. I wear mine all the time. Oh, someone wants to learn how to tat. That's cool. Tatting is a very beautiful, it's an old technique that is not super mainstream, but it makes some of the most gorgeous lace on the planet. I really admire the work of tatting artists. So if you found someone that'll teach you, that's great, because there's not that many. Oh, Tammy's working on a granny square for a blanket. Wonderful. Granny squares are one of my favorite things to teach beginners. It's such an easy way to teach someone to get started on crochet, and can have a blanket when they're done. KB says there's a great tatting class on Craftsy. Cool. And that's another great resource then. Thank you. I still have quite a bit of yarn left from my tidbit size of Be So Fine yarn for this collar. Oh, Cheryl made the molten lava shawl. She gave it to her future daughter-in-law and is hoping that she'll wear it at the wedding. That would be amazing. I would love to see photos of that, if you wouldn't mind sharing them with me. Asking what I'm crocheting. I'm working the edge on this shrug, cocoon shrug that I'm making. It's crocheting on fabric for this beautiful chiffon scarf, and I'm converting it into a cocoon shrug. Just about done with it, and it's for one of my upcoming books that is all about crocheting on fabric. Okay, great, Cheryl. I'd love to see photos. Oh, yesterday found out that you can absolutely post your projects to my professional Facebook page, and then if you want to see other people's projects on that page, you go to the community tab. I still haven't figured out the shared album, but I'll figure out an album too, because it'd be fun to do that as well. But if you want to see what other people have shared to my professional page, you click on the community tab, and if you want to share something, it's right at the top of the page. You go to the Kristin Omdahl Facebook page, and then you can write right at the top of it. You can make a post. I have all of that open still. Thank you, Petra. Jenny, you saw a dolphin. Joni, you saw a dolphin. Oh, I missed him. Oh my God, that's so awesome. Okay, we're almost out of time, but we're gonna stay to look for a dolphin. Yay, I'm so excited. Oh, I think he's gone. I see some rippling over there. I don't know, Shirley. I'm looking for the dolphin now, too. I should watch in here to see if anyone's telling me where he was. Okay, well, we'll have to play back at around 31 minutes to see where he was then. That's easy. Okay, so after this is not live anymore and it's recording, we can all go back and around 31 minutes start looking for the dolphin. I'll have to remember that because I want to see him later. Thank you for telling me, you guys. Thank you for sharing that you saw him. Saw one. And one of these mornings you're going to get to see a whole bunch of them, and they're going to play together, and it's going to be amazing. Anita says she loves my beaded necklaces and learned how to crochet on fabric for me. That's great. I know, Faye, isn't that a wonderful Wednesday gift for all of us to see a dolphin? That's like one of my favorite things to see down here. But when the weather warms up and the water warms up, we'll see manatees and sea turtles out there too. And we'll see more dolphins. I think they're more active when it's warm. And then over the summer, we might see baby sharks in their little nursery at the edge here. That's a pretty cool thing that I think is pretty special to this area. See, people are excited about the Crochet and Fabric book. I'm happy to hear that. Me too. It just opens up a whole new world to you when you don't have to crochet the whole project and you can embellish something else with crochet. I love that. I don't know, it makes me really excited. I have to go too. Thank you, Sandy. So we've gone to 35 minutes today, so I'm sorry to keep everybody so long, and I have to get going too. I've already Okay, so if anybody has any last minute questions for me, now would be the time. I'll stay for another minute or so. And Marcia, I'm glad you liked the white t-shirt video. Thank you all for joining me today. Remember, if you're interested in seeing that dolphin, it looks like there was a spotting sometime around 30 or 31 minutes in that range. I know I'm gonna go check that when I get home. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.